the change. Be the change. If you are one of those people who feel like this world could be a better place, like it could look different, it would be nicer if it was like that, or it would be better if it was like this a little bit more. And if you're one of those people who realize that the only change that you can make is within yourself, then this message might just be for you. Great Spirit, Father God, source of all things, what is the message that you would like for us humans hopping around here on planet Earth to receive today? Re-energize in the natural world. Let your inner hunter or huntress take rest. Sometimes the pursuing, sometimes the going needs a pause in the action, and sometimes we need to just sit down and recenter ourselves, find our own little space, find the peace within. And if you don't have the peace within yet, that's okay. Just sit with yourself anyway and allow everything that comes up to be okay. Like there's nothing wrong, there's nothing like good or bad, it just is. Maybe it's not how you want to feel, so you want to aim for something different. Or maybe it's not quite how you wanted it to be, so you want to change it just a little bit. And you have the power to do that. You have the power to change how you react to things, how you feel about things. You have to practice it, but you can change it. And then you can allow the good things to come into your life. As what Esther and Abraham Hicks would say, if there is something about your life that you wish to improve, perhaps something missing that you would like to include, or something unwanted that you would like to release, these teachings of Abraham would be of immense value to you. And the teachings of Abraham is what you think about, feel about, you bring about. So this is why it's so important to sit down and get to know yourself on the inside, your inner self. So you are showing up as someone who is happy, someone who has succeeded with things that they wanted to achieve in life, someone who has done the things that you want to do, you set your intention to it and you do it. You're also showing up as someone who is focused on your own path, focused on your own thing, focused on your inner being, focused on releasing the wounds from the past, like the Nine of Wands, like the wounded warrior is here. And now it's the time to perhaps put down the fences a little bit, put down the defenses a little bit, so that you can take rest and allow yourself to take rest and find some peace. Maybe go somewhere where there is sun, maybe take a vacation, maybe just go out and get all the vitamins and the nutrients from the sun. And also this is someone who is doing their own thing and not so interested in all the turbulence or the conflict with others, drama or like competition, all that stuff. Someone here is showing up as the sun, in a very good place in your mind. And that is great. Like this is a state where you can release, like when you find that good peace, happiness, the presence, a gateway into the presence. For example, you can focus on your inner body. You can take one moment and then you can just focus on the space within yourself. So you can feel a little energy field that is within yourself. When you do that, you also tap out of your thinking mind, and then you'll be able to just be present. And then you can attract in what you want to attract in, what you think about in that state of mind is going to come towards you. maybe take a vacation to the natural world somewhere where you can take some rest and rejuvenate and think about things that you want to achieve in life or how you want it to be. And if you are single and looking for someone, this is calling for patience and balance. Finding balance, also realizing that by doing this work, by bringing out the good intentions, the kind heart, the true things, by bringing out those things within yourself, you're also going to attract someone who has those same qualities. And also by stopping fighting and not having to defend yourself and be defensive all the time, you're going to be able to open up more. And then you're also allowing this potential person to come in if that's what you're wanting to bring into your life. If you're in a relationship and it is complicated, then there might be too many words spoken, there might be too much action taken. Perhaps you have overused the tongue a little bit, saying things that we think about that we don't really mean it necessarily, but we say it anyway and can create a lot of conflict coming out of action. So learning from the patience, bringing in the patience. Even when things are complicated, it can be good to just take a vacation, get away from it, re-energize in the natural world, center yourself so you can get out of your reactive emotions or your reactive thinking and responses, so that you can find your stillness and your inner peace, and then you can make good decisions. When it comes to, if you want complicated in your life, then you can keep that, or if you want it to be more easy, then maybe you can make decisions that would make it more easy for you. And if you are in a committed relationship or you are looking for a committed relationship, then there is a great energy waiting in the wings for you. And this King of Wands, which is a great energy, someone who has overcome the impulsiveness of the rash decisions, the rash emotions, the rash thinking. This is someone who has the brewing of passion. They have tamed their inner lion so that they can make sound decisions even with big emotions. And that's a great person to be in a commitment with. So if you are in a commitment and this is who you are in a commitment with, that's great. Then I would definitely treasure and value that. And in the workplace, there might be something that you are waiting on in your workplace, something to, some kind of message that is not coming in the way that you wanted it to. You're showing up as a leader, and you're showing up as a good leader with good heart. You're showing up with as a leader with good communication. And so whether you are a leader in your work or not is definitely a possibility for you to step up and take a leadership position. You are showing up as someone who is assertive, who can take a step back and look at the bigger picture, who can decide and speak it and do it from kindness and compassion, but also assertiveness. Maybe this is something that you have qualities for, and if the current place where you're at don't value that, then maybe there is somewhere else where you can go and take all of your skills and all of your beautiful qualities and bring them so that you can grow with the place that you're in of work. Like, we spend a lot of time in our workplace, in our lives, and so you want to be somewhere where they value you, where you can bring your best self to the table and they appreciate that. So working on ourselves, Like wherever you are in your life or in your journey, there is going to be always more opportunities to work on ourselves. This is one thing that is for certain, is that I have plenty of things that I can work on within myself. You have plenty of things that you can work on within yourself. And everybody else out there also has plenty of things that they could work on with themselves. And for the most part, we don't see it. It's in our denial or like in our blind spots. So often we cannot see those things. This is why relationships sometimes are so beneficial, because we can mirror each other. This is why looking at the signs and the signals out there is beneficial, because it can teach you things that you are in denial of, that you don't want to see it. And so the shadow of what you present outside, what is on the inside, that sometimes we don't want to see it, we don't want to acknowledge it. It's in our shadow, but that is also where you are going to find the best rewards. And then, so here, someone who is very happy going in their mind, someone who is in need of rest and rejuvenation, take some time out from the competition, take some time out from always having to stand up for yourself, take some time out for always having to fight your own battles, taking some time out from always having to stand up for yourself in a group of people to assert yourself. And so we have someone showing up as needing to re-energize in the natural world. It's very draining to always having to stand up for yourself and always having to fight for your place in the world and always having to do those things. So the shadow work that is showing up here, they're actually really beautiful cards and things, but sometimes we can be like with passion. If you've had unfortunate experiences with love, passion, and intimacy with other people, then there might be a need to address it. And you would know if you have issues with it from the experiences that you've had in your life before. And so taking some time to figure out how you can take action on your passions and your passionate sides, how you can take action on it without being like abrupt, without hopping into things, without thinking, without being too spontaneous, but to kind of think it through and make a sound decision on it, and be able to practice more like, you know, the King of Wands, reining in their emotions, feeling them, but also acknowledging them, but also not allowing them to come out and take over the show. And so that might be one thing that would be beneficial to work on, is to allow the passion to flow freely, and also practice how you can hold the reins on the emotions, so you don't allow the emotions to take you wherever. And another thing that is showing up here in this shadow is the Two of Cups. And so having to stand up for yourself for many, many years, stand up for what you believe in. You're showing up as the wounded warrior, showing up as someone who's mending those wounds, showing up as someone who is taking a break from always having to be friendly, competing with other people and all that. And so the shadow work on this is like, there are connections out there who are good for you. There are connections out there who are true and who will reciprocate what you carry in your soul. You just have to find them. Sometimes I know for sure that it's difficult to connect with the right people because the teachings or the consequences that you have from other people's acts and behaviors. And so it can be difficult to find a way to open up that you are a unique being with all the potential to connect with someone else, and believing that you are worthy of a connection like that. So perhaps the passion and the worthiness, and then the strength, not allowing the emotions to get the better of you. Like, emotions can be strong sometimes, they can be overwhelming, and they can get the best of you sometimes. And when they do, we do tend to do stuff that we're not really very proud about. We're not really happy that we did that, and that those might be the regrets that we have to carry into our future, and then we can look back on them later in life and wish that we hadn't done it. And so to learn how to allow the feelings to be, allow them to be, and allow them to grow, and allow them to be what they are, but also understanding that you as a human being have the ability and the power and the capability of acting without just reacting to your emotions. You can feel what you feel, and then you can respond to it. So here is like the worthiness, understanding that you are truly worthy of good connections. And also this is a card that is, even though you have been standing up for yourself, by yourself for a long time, perhaps all of your life you've been standing up for yourself or standing up in your own right. And this is a reminder that there is power in more people together. There is a power in two together. It is not a weakness. It is not a it's not a weakness. It's a strength. To find someone that you can connect to and commit to is going to give a lot of a sense of security, a sense of teamwork, a sense of togetherness, a sense of, there's a lot of positive things that come with it. So sometimes that could be the shadow work that we would need to do too, to allow that feeling of that maybe I am not as strong as I could be by myself. Maybe it would be better to have someone in my life that I could go together with, and to have the strength. And the strength card is also about self-respect and having courage and self-love. And back to the worthiness and having the self-love, the self-respect. It is so important, especially if you come from all these wounded places. Perhaps when you take a little time out and re-energize in the natural world, perhaps what you can bring in there is that, first of all, you're very talented and your job might not appreciate the qualities that you bring to them. So that might be something that you want to consider when you take the time out in the natural world. Also, what you wanted to bring there with you is like, how can you allow yourself to be a passionate being, to bring out the passion, the drive, the excitement of yourself? How can you also be open to sharing your life with someone special? How can you be open to connecting with people in a deeper way? And because you are worthy of it, how can you find your self-worth? How can you express and feel your self-love? And how can you develop that feeling of unconditional love and courage? Unconditional love and courage. What is it that you want to do with your life? And how can you do it? And if you are like most people, then there is something in your life that you would wish to improve. We all have things that we would wish to improve in our life that is not so good, that would be better if it was such. And then is there something that is missing in your life that you would like to include in your life? Perhaps it's these things that you are not allowing yourself to have in your life because of the wounds over here, and perhaps you want to bring in the passion, the action, to have fun, adventure. Perhaps you want to bring in the connection, the soul bond, the trust, having the loyalty and the respect and the mutual trust in between two people, cooperate together, bringing the best out of each other, lifting each other up, making life more fun for each other, and complementing each other in a great way. And perhaps there's something unwanted that you would like to release. Perhaps you always just, when you get angry, you freak out, or when you get fearful, you freak out, or when you feel anxiety, you lash out on people. Or perhaps there's something like depression, then you just go under and you just disconnect from everything and everybody. And perhaps there is something that you would like to release from your life. Perhaps you would like to release that. How can you, when you go into the natural world, how can you figure out a way that you can better deal with these emotions? Like, how can you, the physical being, the soul, how can you manage in your physical body, like the being, how can you manage to deal with these emotions that are going to come up, because we are humans? Which emotions is what makes it kind of fun too. Challenging, yes, but also makes it more interesting for sure. Spirit will say, you are the queen. You are a queen. You are on your throne. It is your life. Guy or girl, doesn't matter. You're on your way to the king status, like energy-wise, you have accomplished many things. Energy-wise, you are capable of taking care of yourself. You are capable of taking care of your time. You manage your resources well. You're able to do these things, and you're moving on from heartbreak. You're moving on from the things that used to hold you down. You're moving on from those things that are previously have stabbed you in the heart. And so now you are discerning. Now you have the spirit of discernment within yourself. And so you are able to move away from it and choose differently. Because maybe perhaps before you chose the heartbreak because it was familiar to you. Now though, you are able to walk away from it, and Spirit is giving you this encouragement. Maybe it's a brand new idea that you have. Maybe it's a brand new passion that you have found, or perhaps it is something that ignites your excitement and the sense of wanting to adventure, wanting to experience more out of life, and wanting to bring something into fruition, and wanting to put this into being. And so Spirit is giving you something, a brand new beginning. Maybe it's a new project, just an inspiration. This can be just igniting your urge to create, which is over here in your the shadow work. It would be allowing that passion to ignite and allowing to take action on it. And so Spirit is again advising you to take action on your passion. Like, allow this passion to ignite, allow it to come out of you, to bring that up. Also with the Two of Cups, like, Spirit is here as advising you to choose differently. Like, if you choose the same people that do things like the people from the past did, then you might create the same results as you had before, and that might include the heartbreaks and the heartaches and the reasons why you always have to stand up for yourself, and why you always have to take a break from everything and bring yourself back into order again. And so choosing differently, knowing what kind of repetitive, or knowing what kind of patterns that you have been acting on before that has created what it's creating in your life, making different choices. And then also the Queen of Pentacles is here, which is gaining the strength to maneuver, to hold yourself assertive, to be in a position of power where you also cannot just lash out everywhere, or like freak out or do stuff like that. You got to be able to hold yourself together, and sometimes that can be difficult. So this practicing responding to your emotion, not reacting to them, is going to be a beneficial thing that you can focus on when you re-energize in the natural world, and you are not left out in the cold. And finally, Spirit is happy to see and that you are not feeling left out in the cold. You are not left out in the cold. And even though that might have been how you felt, because you did show up as the wounded warrior with a lot of conflict and competition around you, and so you are not left out in the cold. And you have everything that you need to succeed. You have everything that you need to bring yourself up and into the world, and you will get success. So success is here, which is good. Success can give you a sense of knowing that, okay, Spirit here is saying that, yeah, success, you're not left out in the cold. You're not lacking anything. You are right where you're supposed to be, but you do need some rest. And success, I know that there is no greater goal than to love, and to bring that love into your world will also bring it out into the world around you. And the beautiful light in me, it honors, respects, and loves the same beautiful light in you. Until next time, namaste.